Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. I find it fascinating hearing the stories of others and the journeys that they've made and where it's taken them and how those journeys many times help and support other people. We're going to rejoin our conversation with this gentleman who started an amazing, healthy Greek food company. And of course, it did start in Greece and kind of trace back his journey. That's where we're going today. Company is called Tassos.com, and he is Tassos Chronopoulos, and he joins us once again. Welcome, sir. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very well. Did you have your olive oil this morning?
Of course.
Just
this is a part of life for me. It's the best medicine you can have.
Now I'm curious. I've started doing the same thing you are because it's I want to live a great life, and everything you described sounded like it just aligned with my values and health and everything. When do you take your I guess it's a tablespoon of olive oil in the morning and in the evening?
And one at night, yes.
Is it around a meal? Do you wait? Does it matter?
It does not matter. You can put it in your salad, with you can use it to fry. They say do not use olive oil to fry, but you can fry with it. You can bake with it. You can use it. It's healthy, When you look at vegetable oils or seed oils, you have problems because all these fields are sprayed, with chemicals in order to protect the agricultural products, unfortunately, from different fruit flies, etc. And what you do with the olive oil or the olives or whatever products you like to, agricultural products you'd like to have from fruit, oranges and apples and all this stuff, you have to be damn sure that the farmers do not spray the trees with chemicals. We are what we eat, and you see the illness that we have here in the United States, cancer and stuff, that does not exist in terms of volume, in other countries. We are just, unfortunately, the politicians and all these groups that they have, FDA and et cetera, do not check things as they're supposed to check for human consumption.
Where did this begin for you? I want to go back to the beginning of where you had this idea to start this company, and you are on the forefront of it because Mediterranean food and that lifestyle has become so popular, and it started years ago, and you started this company years before that. But what was that moment where you said, you know what, I'm going to start this company? And how did that begin?
Oh, this is... It was, I had my father come to the United States because he got cancer on the throat, and to break, I'm sick, I took him around to show him what I had done in my life, because I have a degree in mechanical and aerospace engineering. I worked in many beautiful projects, like the creating the electrical transformer that is done at the top of a pole we place on the ground, creating the underground electrical distribution, and then I went into a business to clean up Lake Michigan. Not a business, but an assignment from my company, from the company I used to work for. And finally, because U.S. Steel left Chicago, I went to Pittsburgh, and I was married, and I had a child, and this was my family's history here, because I like to be a member of the family that can say good morning, let's go and have a cup of coffee, or not be spread all over the States. So I brought my father here to take care of him, and then I took him around the city of Chicago, Wisconsin, areas where I had built modular buildings, subdivisions, homes, and also hotels in Itasca, Illinois, in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, in Philadelphia. And the last thing I took him to see was a monument that I offered to the village Palos Heights, where I was living, because I had lost a lot of friends during the war in Vietnam, and at that time there were also 6 guys that lost their lives when they tried to free the hostages they were not hostages, they were employees of the American embassy in Iran. So I took him there to see what I had done for the village, because I had named it Monument to Peace, and I had a list from the Civil War, the number of dead that people during, caused by the wars, World War II, Korean War, Iraq War. And he looked at me, he says, what have you done for the place that you were born? At the time, I had 3 kids, all in the university, Purdue, University of Illinois, one studying medicine, one studying political science, one studying psychology. And it was like punching me on the stomach. I said to myself, what the hell, doesn't he understand that what I have done in my life, coming here, creating a family, being able to have all 3 of my children at universities, one of them, the middle one, 40s, has a degree in gynecology. Anyway, my father passed away, and I took him back to Greece, and around the cemetery, there were olive groves. At that time, no one in Greece had done anything about olives or olive oil, even though this tree appeared centuries ago for the first time on this planet in Greece. And then Alexander the Great, the ancient emperor of Greece, took the tree and went all the way to the Black Sea, Lebanon, all these countries there, and on the other side to Spain and Italy. And also they had at the time, again, first time in Greece, the grapes, for red, yellow, whatever grapes you wanted to think about, they were introduced in Greece. And now I'm talking about before Christianity, centuries before. But what has happened was that the olive trees were also, I don't know what's your religion, but in the Christian faith, you see them talking about Christ speaking around the olive groves and stuff like that. And they were using olive oil in their food. And they were the ones that they decided that it was healthy. And this is why in the christening of people, children, they put in their hands and the forehead and their heart the sign of the cross in olive oil. But more than that, when they go in and they have communion, the communion has wine, because that's what they had when Christianity started. So I looked at it and I said, my God, nobody has done anything for it. So at that time, no one was pitting the olives. So I, being an engineer, and I designed the equipment to extract the pit from the olive and offer it, pitted, and then stuffed with almonds, and stuffed with all kinds of things, with garlic, and the stuffing has to match the cavity of its olive, and olives they don't have the same cavity, even though they have the same size. So for me it was a challenge, but when we brought it to the United States, people liked it. And then at the time that I brought the olive oil in the United States, everybody was using corn oil, and corn is not good for your health. So, being a lover of this planet, I didn't want to pollute the air. I didn't want to pollute the water. So, what I have done is I don't use mechanical equipment to harvest the olives, but just people picking them up and putting them in bags. And the water that we are using to wash the olives, we recycle the water, and we use it for toilets, or to water the trees. But we do not spray anything with chemicals or additives, because my experience had been that while people used to live at their 80s and 90s, then now they are dying at the 60s and 70s, if they are lucky. So the reason for it was the type of food that we put in our stomach. And this is what caused me to concentrate in providing total natural products with no chemicals, no additives, not artificial coloring, but total natural. And that's how it started. My father's challenge, what have I done for Greece? So we now, I want it or not, we are in many stores in the United States. Basically at Costco, we have our olives for everyday item. And we have been in Mexico and Canada and France and England. Are you there?
I'm right here. And I want to go back to what year did this all begin for you and your family?
35 years ago.
Wow. And was it a family project in the beginning, or did you start it and then you worked your family?
What happened was this. My daughter had a degree in her master's in political science. She could go to work for in Washington, but family to me is very, very important. So I said to her, listen, come and join me. This is something beautiful. You will enjoy doing it. So I kept it here. My youngest son, Michael, he got his master's in neuropsychology. He got an offer to go and work in Hawaii. I said to him, no, we have only one family, and we're not be going flying around and driving around to say Happy Thanksgiving or Merry Christmas. You stay here with me. So the two of them have been with me from the beginning, a few years after when they were able to finish school. And the middle guy, 40, he has his, he never came around because he finished his medical. He got his medical degree of gynae. He opened up his clinic, and he's here. He's doing the same thing from the day that he finished university. So it was an issue of how I can keep my family together, because as an immigrant, I started a family here, and a family to me means to be in some distance, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour away from each other, but not a day or months.
Are there products that you're looking at, and you have so many that you have on your website, and so many different ones, unique ones as well, like the pepper stuff with cream cheese? Whoa!
Yeah,
it looks so good, even in a picture. Even the cherry peppers. Is there something that you're looking at that you might say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should add this to the lineup?
we always try to work, but the problem that you have today is finding labor force. Because if you look at all the olives, they are stuffed by hand. If you look at all these cherry peppers and papandoro peppers that we have, they also are stuffed by hand. Otherwise, you will not have a quality product. You're looking at millions of olives that they have to be stuffed by hand in order to make one container full of olives. It's just a lot of product there. So I'm looking at certain things, but for instance, with our olive oil, we have the PDO organic. PDO stands for Product of Designated Origin. These are areas where the European Olive Oil Association has recognized and designated them as Product of Designated Origin because they are making the best product. Our olive groves are on the top of the mountain in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea at the island of Crete. There's no pollution there. All you get is rain from the clouds if it rains. So it's hard to find people. I don't want to use machines. Taking a machine and start shaking the olive tree, and all the olives falling down on the ground, that takes dirt and garbage. I rather put people to work than machines to work.
You really, really take this personally. Obviously, your name is on the company, but you're so particular about everything you do, and honestly, it's refreshing. I truly love it.
We have a responsibility when you are involved with food items. We have a responsibility to provide to the consumer a quality product, no chemicals, no additives, but vitamins, good healthy stuff for you, because all these products that we're talking about, if it's a cucumber, whatever it is, if it's an orange, if it's an apple, if it's a banana, all these have vitamins in them. But when we start spraying them, not only you lose the vitamins, but you also put chemicals in your body. I don't care if they are potatoes, I don't care if they are figs, all this stuff we all know to spray, because we have the engineering to protect the whatever it is, olive groves, oranges, to protect these fields with sound, and the sound attracts the flies, the food flies, kills them, and then you leave the trees alone.
Did I hear you say sound?
Yeah. You can what we do, we go around the perimeter of the tree grove, call it olive grove, whatever, and then as soon as and then we put equipment in there, small sound machines, where they triggered with the sound as soon as a bird fly or whatever flies around the area, and they move away.
Amazing. To your point, Tassos, we have all this technology, but still many companies, if not most, just spray chemicals. And if you go back 100 years, those chemicals didn't exist, but we still had what we have.
Right.
It's a shame, and I understand. Like every business owner is saying nowadays, it's hard to find people to employ.
It's hard to understand for me to understand why people don't understand that climate change affects not just the agricultural product, but also the animals, the goats and the sheep and the cows. Climate change is something that we can avoid if we get our heads together and say, Jesus Christ, stop polluting the air, stop polluting the water, but it's all about money, but not about the responsibility of the human species to this planet.
It's mind-blowing what we're eating nowadays, and we don't even realize what it is, outside of your products. And I'm on your website, and I just found preserves. I didn't even know that you had. I love raspberry. Have ever since I was a kid. That raspberry Greek preserve. What's going on inside that jar?
A lot of fun. I sent you something to taste it.
It just looks delicious. Where do the raspberries come from? What can you tell us?
All these are in Greece. All these are fruits that they come out of Greece. Wow. It's just ridiculous to say it, but this is a country. If you look at the terms of anything, chemistry, mathematics, physics, whatever, the names, the areas were identified since ancient times.
Say, I believe I heard that, but I want to make sure it's clear. Say that last part again. Ancient times? Ancient
times, I mean, I'm talking about 3,000 years before Christ.
Sure.
Where you have, I will give you a few of them, few examples. Physics, physiki. Mathematics, mathematica. Chemistry, chemia. Christian, Χριστιανός. Electricity. You can go through astronomy, astronomia, planets, planitis. All these things were identified in ancient times from this little country. But the modern Greeks, they rather put their blue jeans down to the butt to look like how people dress here. They rather, get drunk in a bar rather than putting the butt down in a chair and do their job.
Yeah. It's a shame, and also in that many people don't have the pride that you have. They might be working for a company, they might own a company, but your pride is just bursting with what you've done and what you do. And honestly, I love it, Tassos. It's just, you can feel the energy, the positive energy coming from you and your products.
Well, anyone that comes through the front door of this company knows that we are dedicated to provide to the consumer the best product without any chemicals, additives, or even if in the jar there is an olive that they missed without a pit, and the pit is there, we push it away. We are all responsible in here to give to the consumer something that he can give to his children and grandchildren without hurting them. Look what happened not long ago with the meats that they came out and in the grocery stores and in hotels and everything else, and they had to move them out after people got sick. Well, why you have to get sick before people move the product? Why don't you check it before you give it to the consumer?
Yep, for sure. Just we're out of time, but I do want to share with everyone that along with the dedication to the product and the pride, you also give back to many in the community, and that includes a College Success Foundation, Ronald McDonald House, is an organization called Feed My Starving Children, American Heart Association. just a few that you work with, and just amazing. Go check it out. Tassos, TASSOS.com, and learn more. And Tasso, great having you on here. Wonderful talking with you. And
thank you.
I love your products. I love you, and looking forward next time we get together.
The feelings are mutual, my friend. Thank you for allowing me to express myself in my feelings about the responsibilities that all food companies must have before them and meet them.
Yep, and it's important to us and our future. And again, thanks. We'll catch up soon, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Can I touch this? Where does sand come from? Is this tree good for climbing? What happens if I mix these two things together? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Storing your guns securely is the best way to prevent family fire, including unintentional shootings. For more information on safe gun storage and ways to keep your family safe, visit endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org.
What do we keep in the attic? What's this thing called? Can I ride my bike backwards?
Like I said, kids are curious. It's up to us to keep them safe. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.